donated food at a funeral in Dodoma reaches 55. And in sport, the national girls under-17 team will play their last game against Djibouti tomorrow in the ongoing CECAFA Championships in Uganda. Good evening, this is Capital News at 9:30. My name is Vanessa Victor. Let's start things off with the national news. The government has reclaimed Kilimanjaro International Airport after paying a compensation of $5.6 million. The investor they had entered into a joint venture with on the ownership of the airport. This was said by the Minister of Works, Transport and Communication, Isaac Mwelwe, after launching the board of directors of Kilimanjaro Development Company, KADCO.
Kuna watu walikuwa wameumiliki huku, ikiwepo watu wa kutoka Ulaya walikuwa wamemilikishwa binafsishwa, lakini tumekaa nao kwenye meza kwenye awamu hii ya Dr. John Pombe Joseph Magufuli. Tukaona tumalizane nao, tumewalipa dola milioni 5,600,000. Tumenawa mikono. Kwa hiyo KADCO ni mali ya serikali. Ndio maana hata tunaunda bodi sasa hii mpya.
Now we are flying high. There is no going back. And we've decided to start paying off loans, about 15 billion, which has already been cleared. And then we began paying government dividend.
A day after 55 people were admitted at Dodoma Referral Hospital after eating food alleged to have been contaminated at a funeral in Mtumba area, 2 of the patients have been discharged after receiving treatment. Dodoma Regional Commissioner Dr. Bilnith Mahenge has commended the team of doctors who have been treating the patients and also urged residents to adhere to health regulations in order to avoid outbreaks of diseases.
Those who ate the meal were poisoned, although there are some who didn't come forward. By taking the service to the village, we allowed more to come forward, hence the increase in the number of those admitted. I commend doctors for a job well done that was inclusive. They were very calm and made sure that this problem was contained. It could be the vegetable or food that was contaminated.
The President of Zanzibar and Chairman of the Revolutionary Council, Dr. Ali Mohammed Shein, has called on leaders in his government to adhere to laws and stop violating them with the aim of getting personal gains. President Dr. Shein made the statement in Zanzibar when addressing residents during the climax of Ethics and Human Rights Day, which was attended by leaders and executives from the public and private sector.
All leaders must practice good governance and the rule of law and observe the law. Tanzania is the first country in Africa to form a ministry on good governance. This was started by Mkapa during his first term of presidency. This government greatly values good governance and public service. We've done so since the 6th phase, and we shall keep doing so in the 7th phase. These 3 things, a good moral standing, humanity, and good governance, are related. It was our first minister who was given the opportunity to lead the Constitution and Good Governance Ministry, and it was you who laid a strong foundation of good governance in Zanzibar.
A day after butchers at the abattoir in Nyarugusu area Geita region went on strike to oppose the 6,000 shilling fee charged for every slaughtered cow by the livestock officer without a receipt. Slaughtering activities have resumed after the government replaced the livestock officer with another one. The commander from the Prevention and Combating of Corruption Bureau, PCCB, in Gator, Leonidas Felix, has said the livestock officer accused of charging slaughtering fees without issuing receipts will appear in court to face the charges laid against him.
We commend the government and PCCB. They came yesterday to address this matter. A slaughterhouse is under construction. Once it is ready, then we will move from this area. The money taken from you will be returned. What we are going to do now is to gather enough evidence, so I ask you to cooperate when you are called upon to give evidence.
The Inspector General of Police, IGP Simon Sirru, said that the security situation in the country has continued to be strengthened due to the cooperation between Tanzanians and security stakeholders. IGP Simon Sirru made the statement when he met with the management of Tanzania's Zambia Railway Authority, Tanzania Railway Corporation, and conducted an inspection tour of the Tazara Police Force, Railway, Technical and Marine Forces.
I've come to do an inspection and we will begin with the parade to assess how strong our officers are, but also to speak to them about any challenges that they might be facing so we can find solutions and see how far directives given have been implemented. This is the year end, so it is important to carry out an assessment, but also to remind officers about their responsibilities. Without a good relationship with the police, then your job will be very hard. The police force is doing an excellent job, but how they relate to other officers in different areas has been great. Hence, the challenges they face are less severe compared to those faced by TRC. And if you find us without uniform, it is very difficult to differentiate who is an officer and who isn't. We were a bit nervous when we commenced the Moshi route, as we now carry a lot of passengers. So what we did, we had officers at the front to take care of security and clear the way.
The government has said that it will dismiss doctors and nurses found to tamper with evidence given in child abuse cases, particularly of rape, after a study revealed an increase in such incidents from 13,400 in 2017 to 14,400 last year. The statement was made by the Deputy Minister of Health, Dr. Faustin Ndugulile, when addressing a meeting on children's rights to mark 30 years since Tanzania ratified the International Convention on Children's Rights.
The Ministry of Health will make sure that such a person is made accountable. There are cases of rape whereby, to get evidence, we must take the victim to a health center for a medical examination, yet the doctor declares that the patient has not been sexually assaulted. When there is clear evidence, then such people who tamper with evidence will be dealt with accordingly. How are we going to prepare our youth in education, health, employment, and in other areas that concern them? As Africa, how are we getting ready so when the chance arises, our children will not be standing by, but they will participate in growing our economy? Pregnancy is not an issue concerning only the health sector. It concerns everyone who bears children. It is therefore critical that preparations are made in different stages on development.
Dockers and freight forwarders of agricultural goods being transported to the Democratic Republic of Congo at Kibirizi Port in Kigoma, Ujiji municipality, have urged the government to speed up construction of the jetty at the port in order to address challenges when carrying cargo.
We commend our government for constructing the Kibirizi port. In the past, we suffered so much in goods handling. Carriers were forced to get into the water. This has simplified work. For 150 kilograms, we charged 1,000 to 1,500, which is very heavy and not suitable to be carried physically. And the 10,000 I get in a day's work is not enough to care for my family. So this is very hard for us. We called them so we could have a dialogue about this. Most of us are not given work. Previously, large ships had to dock in high waters, and carriers were forced to go in small boats to offload goods, but this has now been resolved.
The government has launched the second phase national strategy on rice farming, with the Minister of Agriculture, Japhet Hassunga, saying that the nation is facing a shortage of 129,000 tons of seeds and that this situation is affecting production of the crop in the country.
Availability is at 57,000 tons nationwide. This means that there is a large number of farmers with no superior seeds. And if we want to invest in rice, where are we going to get the seeds? Our country is strategically placed to supply rice to a lot of countries.
And that's all for national news. International news is next. And in international news, at least 22 people have been killed by rebel fighters in Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo. Officials have said the latest in a number of deadly attacks in the region just this month. The attack by members of the Allied Democratic Forces ADF happened in the regional capital, Beni, on Saturday night. The latest incident came a day after 6 civilians were killed in an attack in Beni. DRC forces launched operations against the ADF in late October, and the ADF has retaliated by carrying out massacres. The Parliament of Uganda has directed the Energy and Minerals Ministry to immediately start an investigation into the corruption and embezzlement allegations at Isimba Power Dam construction project that is being implemented by China International Waters Electric Corporation, CIWEC. It has been alleged that agents, contractors and top leaders in the Ministry of Energy embezzled $6.5 million.
More than a year early, that I will not allow the president to. I told the contractors I will not allow you until that bridge has started.
After a directive that people living in unsafe areas should move immediately was issued to avoid further disaster caused by rains, the exercise to demolish houses built in valleys has begun in Gatsata area in Kigali, Rwanda.
We have not been treated justly. Where will we go now? In Setu, our things have been taken outside and we do not even know where we're going. They started demolishing our homes without even telling us to remove our belongings. We just realized what they were doing when we saw them climb the roof and start ripping off one roof after another. We even asked them to give us one day so that we can remove our things, but they refused.
That's where we leave off with international news. However, we'll be back with the business news after this short break.
Watch Business Edition as we talk to business leaders and experts in sectors that are transforming Tanzania's economy.
To be rich, I have to be a business person.
It's not an easy road at all.
People need to understand. You must quickly think, how cost effective are you going to be?
Business acts as a way in which it can bridge that gap.
Business Edition will keep you informed on latest developments in the financial sector, extractive industry, tourism, agriculture, energy, construction, and so much more. Meet entrepreneurs who create employment opportunities. Watch Business Edition on Friday at 8:15 p.m.
And in business news, the Weights and Measures Agency has emphasized on the need to stop ongoing theft being done by some untrustworthy entrepreneurs when using weights to measure goods, as well as for them to adhere to laws governing the sector. Farmers have also been warned that the ongoing exercise will be conducted nationwide.
We are focused on ensuring sale of farm harvests, including cashew nuts, cotton, sunflower oil. So some are sold in factories after being accurately weighed. So in order for this to happen, they need to get the accurate amount of raw materials. If they want to produce 10 tons, they must get quantity of raw materials that can allow them to produce that amount from the farmer. Thus, our responsibility as WMA is to ensure when the season begins, we go to are certain that farmers are getting the money they deserve through accurate weighing of their harvests.
The Minister of Minerals, Dr. Biteko, has directed all mine owners, both local and foreign, to deliver mine setup plans immediately after mining activities begin, saying so far only 10 out of 200 owners have done so, a situation that endangers safety at the mine.
There has also been dirtying of the environment due to deficiency in the management of TSF. These deficiencies have led to significant concern over the environment as well as safety of human beings and animals in mining locations. The government once again warns that it will not hesitate to take action against mine owners that do not manage their mine shafts well. Tanzanians' involvement in the minerals sector creates opportunities in legal issues. Instead of bringing in law firms from abroad, it is best we use local lawyers. There are many companies and we should utilize them.
Tanzania Women Chamber of Commerce has urged women crossing the border in search of markets, especially in member countries of the East African community, to form groups so as to make it easier for them to access reliable markets and avoid incidents of harassment when they cross the border.
Kwa kweli takwimu za wanawake waliokuwa wananyanyaswa kabla ya mafunzo.
Statistics on women who were being harassed before training were up to 60%, because many women you find have goods worth around $2,000, which is about 4.6 million shillings, but they are charged taxes and others have their goods taken away. So through this training sponsored by Trademark East Africa, we believe women will have better understanding. Women should form groups and join the TWCC as they do a great job standing for women.
And that's all for business news. Sports is up next.
Away first time, good start from Bolt. Bolt leading a moment of going away. Gay trying to go with him, and he's being dragged through to second place, but he's going to win it by 2 meters. Away first time, good start from Bolt. Bolt leading a moment of going away. Gay trying to go with him, and he's being dragged through to second place, but he's going to win it by 2 meters. Joaquinho, he did lose to Lent.
And in sports news, the national girls under-17 team will play their last game against Djibouti tomorrow in the ongoing CECAFA Championships at Njeru Stadium in Jinja, Uganda.
We have finished training well. We were recovering from yesterday's game and trying to discuss and get rid of the mistakes that happened in yesterday's game. Our game tomorrow is very important because it is the last game of the competition and we need to win that match.
Tanzania Paralympics Committee has organized a 5-day swimming coaches training on how to coach swimmers with disabilities.
If we are given good environment, we can. So even in sports, we can. We believe there are schools that have students with disabilities. So maybe after this course, we'll be having enough knowledge to train the youth so we can start with them slowly. I've also been told to start swimming, but I'm very scared of water.
Liverpool's defense of their Champions League crown will continue with a 2-leg tie against Atletico Madrid in the last 16, while Manchester City take on Real Madrid. Here is more.
Another heavyweight tie as they face German giants Bayern Munich and Tottenham, the beaten finalists from 2019, must try and overcome RB Leipzig. Barcelona have regularly expressed a desire to get back on top of the podium in European competition and continue their adventure against Napoli. Paris Saint-Germain, with Neymar and Kylian Mbappe leading the charge, will take in tough tests against Borussia Dortmund. Cristiano Ronaldo, as the competition's all-time leading goal scorer, can add to his stunning collection of continental efforts in a meeting with Lyon, while Atlanta's clash with Valencia completes the first knockout stage.
Manchester United will play Brugge in Europa League's round of 32, and Arsenal have been drawn against Olympiacos.
Top of Group L and will take on the Belgian side, who failed to qualify for the Champions League knockout phase after finishing a distant third behind PSG and Real Madrid in Group A. Arsenal's Greek opponents are also dropped into the Europa League after finishing third in the Champions League group behind Tottenham. Olympiacos could only manage 1 win and a draw from their 6 matches. Wolves will play Spanish club Espanyol, who are currently bottom of La Liga.
Everton held talks with Carlo Ancelotti on Monday as the club continued to search for Marco Silva's successor. Here's more.
They have been positive, and the two parties are planning further talks soon. Silva was sacked on 6th of December after a 5-2 defeat against Liverpool, and Everton have been working on finding a replacement ever since. The caretaker manager Duncan Ferguson has overseen 2 games, beating Chelsea 3-1 at home before drawing away at Manchester United on Sunday. Ancelotti left Napoli on Tuesday, 10th of December, after poor domestic form had led to their falling behind. Internazionale and Juventus in Serie A, and the fact that he had taken the team into the last 16 of the Champions League on the same night was not enough to save his job.
And that sports item ends our news bulletin. On behalf of everyone who worked to bring you this bulletin, my name is Vanessa Victor. Thank you for watching and good night.